how's everybody doing? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be reading through One Piece chapter 1074 and 1075. So I got two chapters to read today. Now the big thing here that I hope gets more coverage, but I highly doubt that. The last chapter, 1073, ended with a freaking huge bombshell of a news drop, right? So it turns out that we finally got a name drop of one of the five elders, Saint J. Garcia Saturn. This, to me, this is massive reveal. This is big news from the One Piece world because these guys have been characters in the story for dang near 20 years at this point, probably. I don't know the exact timeline, but these guys have been in the story, have been shown here and there for a long time now, right? Practically since almost the beginning. And we never knew their names until last chapter. Saint J. Garcia Saturn. So the interesting thing here is that this guy is named after a planet. So does this mean that the other elders are named after planets as well? And not only that, but when you think about who the ruler of the One Piece world is, which in this case we know to be Im, who is the secret ruler of the world who sits on the throne, she is basically... I think it's safe to assume that Im would be categorized as the Earth. You know what I'm saying? I think when I did my reading, I think I said that Im could be the moon. But now that I've had time to think about it and now looking at things more clearly, I think it's safe to assume that if the five elders are named after planets, Im has to be considered the Earth because she is the ruler of the One Piece world and, you know, the ruler of, like the ruler of the One Piece world, meaning she rules the Earth. So I think Im is going to be revealed as being Earth, and then Luffy is the sun because he has the abilities of the sun god Nika. So Luffy is the sun, Im is the Earth, the five elders are planets. So in terms of who could be the moon, I don't know. I think, Enel went to the moon, but I don't know if he's going to be dubbed that. Or, I'm thinking Blackbeard because Blackbeard's fruit is darkness. Luffy's fruit is, let's call it light. Let's call it light, the sun. So two opposites of each other. It would make sense. It definitely would make sense. But that's the great thing about One Piece. Like, you can make these predictions and you can be spot on, but then you never know what Oda's going to do. But ultimately, what I'm trying to say here is that the reveal of Saint J. Garcia Saturn's name was big. That was big news, and I don't know how that's I don't think we're going to get more information on that today because I think that's a teaser to come later on. But I do think that it's interesting that he actually left the chamber of the five elders because if you look back at the last chapter, he was on a ship with Kizaru and other marines and he was making a move towards friggin' Egghead, right? And then Kizaru asked him, hey, have you ever met Vegapunk? And he's all like, yeah, one time before, way back in the day. And I think what he's doing now is such a shame, like such an unfortunate situation. So the big thing here is that he left the chamber of the five elders. For the entirety of the series up until that point, every time the five elder stars have been shown in One Piece, they are always in their chamber. They never left. I mean, I guess the only time you could say that they left their room is when they went to the empty throne and bowed down. They bowed to Im. But even then, you could say that they were still in the Holy Land of Marijois. They were still in their element. But right now, we see Saint J. Garcia out in the public, like in the actual open world of One Piece on a ship going somewhere by himself. No other elders seem to be present. So it's going to be interesting to see what his move is and what's going to be the effect of that on the story. Yeah, I wonder, honestly. There's a lot to really chew on with this reveal. I could possibly go on forever and ever and like freaking throw out every single thought and idea that I have. But I think I've said enough for right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the reading. I got 2 chapters to read, and hopefully they're good ones. And yeah, can't wait to see what happens. One Piece chapter 1074, Mark 3. Okay, and then we got the cover story is Germa 66 Cold-Blooded Voyage, Volume 30. 3 men endlessly scraping to be number 2. And we got Queen, Caesar, and Judge. So I guess to be number 2, I guess that means, you know, that they can never reach Vegapunk. So hey, you know, the race to be number 1, that's unreachable. You know, you can't reach that. Unreachable, you got to be number 2. So it's a race for 2nd place. So that's pretty interesting. Nice panel here, nice panel. All right, let's go on to the next page and start the reading. A figure blocks their way. Fabrio Stratum, Egghead. You're meant to be with the Marines, right? Why the hell is a government weapon getting in our way? You'll pay for hurting our men. Oh dang, and this oh that's a Kuma. That is a Kuma pacifista right now. For a second I thought that was the actual Kuma, but it's not. All right, so he is he's attacking. All right, next page. Hold up, I gotta. All right, so I'm back. Okay, so next page starts off with this guy going like, "Arr." I sound like a pirate right now. Okay, so then he's all like, "What was that ability? It's a bubble shield, the ultimate defense invented by Vegapunk. Resistance is futile. Surrender and proceed with me to factory." To the factory. This must be a Mark III pacifista. It's far more advanced than the prototypes used in the Summit War. Everyone, do what it says if you don't want to die. Okay. Navy Science Group Weapon Pacifista. Okay. Alright, next page. But who's controlling him? Pacifista don't act on their own like this. Initiating capture. Factory. Please don't move. You'll aggravate your wounds. Someday this turned out to be. Are the Pacifista doing their job? Something's definitely up. The Frontier Dome's sealed, and I can't even get a hold of Grandpa Punk. You got it. I'll get him off the island no matter what. And then we got the transponder snail. We got a phone call. It's buzzing. It's unsettling. Okay, well, no, it's just buzzing. It's unsettling. The Navy's still trying to reach me. They don't realize I'm already a rebel. Guess I can just do whatever I want now. All 50 Mark III units stand ready to deploy. Straw Hat Luffy will be taking Dr. Vegapunk with him on his ship. Your mission is to see to it that they set sail safely. Understood. The Navy might have something up their sleeve. Stand guard at the coast. Whoa. Stop moving. Let us out of here. Something's going to go down on this island soon. No matter what happens, you must ensure your creator escapes. Labostratum, Egghead. What do you mean he's not here? He's got to be in the lab somewhere. He's huffing and puffing. Luffy's tired right now. I ran all over the place looking though. So you broke your hover boots from all that running around? Don't snitch. I can't pay them back. But seriously, where did Apple Gramps go? I couldn't find Bonnie either. They're probably in their memories. Like I know they're both probably inside Kuma's memory somehow. Bonnie's over here, huh? Everything in the lab is transmitted to this monitor, huh? She never went anywhere. You could have told me sooner. This is a big panel spread. Let me try to not miss any bubbles here. This place is simply marvelous. They have everything. I thought we were leaving. The future is now. Dang, Zoro looks tight in that freaking outfit he has on. Is that Stuzy? Yeah. Where's your Stella body? Did something happen? Yes, we have a... yes, we have a couple of issues. Just keep calm and listen. First, the Stella has disappeared. Second, we've lost control of the Frontier Dome. What? How can that be? As things stand, we're basically trapped on the Labostratum. Seriously? Hey, your page is as good as new. Your face? Anyway, that kind of looked like a P and an F at the end. Anyway, let's move on. We found some spare parts. If we tried to leave, the lasers would likely fry us. What? How can we leave the island with Vegapunk then? Wait. Did I misread something? No, quite. And the dome is really a secondary. Oh wait, we should prioritize finding the Stella first, and the dome is really a secondary concern when you consider your main passenger is missing. I'll figure out a way to repair the dome in the meantime. How are we meant to find him if he's not showing up on any of your monitors? Well, these displays do normally show the entire lab, but that Seraphim rampage just now must have incapacitated some of the baby monitor snails. Or maybe they were just knocked out of position. I'm having our workers and the other satellites search for him. He might have passed out in a blind spot. Shaka, it's Pythagoras. Third floor of C tower seems empty. I see. Then next try. The sooner we find him, the sooner we can set sail. Let's go search. I'll join you. For treasure too? I'll also take a look around. I'm worried. Oh, Stuzy-sama, take me with you. Guess I'll lend a hand. We're looking for a geezer with a sawed-off head, right? Hold up, Mosshead. You're going out to find someone? Okay. But who's gonna find you when you're done? He's right, Zoro. You stay. Just be a deer and wait. Dang. They're not letting Zoro go. Man, what a damn pain. Well, they're just forming a search party, so I guess they'll be fine. Anyway, you must have been running all out, huh? Luffy's just exhausted. Okay. I always go all out for everything. Can't believe we bumped into these guys again. Oh, that's sad. Hold on. Then we get a scene of Kaku and Lucci. Dang, okay, so Kaku's like, take me back to Water 7. I wonder how Ice Boss is doing. Dang, dude, I wonder if they're ever going to go back and be accepted after all they've done. It's going to take a big redemption arc for that to happen. But this is kind of sad to see them say that. It's like, dang, they missed the simple life. Even though, they were always undercover agents, but they always took pride in their work. That's something that they definitely established when they were revealed to be CP9. They were always agents, but they actually did their job honestly. They did their honest work. But now they're saying, dang, take me back to Water 7. I wonder how Ice Boss is doing. Dang. Lab interior, paw room. Bonnie, don't touch that. Shut it. Get out of here. Wow. Okay, so then we cut to Bonnie. Looks like she's exhausted. She's sobbing. She sees something on the distance. What's wrong? Hey. The heck is that? Is that Kuma? It's wait. Daddy? Oh yeah, I said that she was in Kuma's memories. Interesting. Okay, so she's all like, wait, Daddy? Come here. Someone save me. I can't take it anymore. We've got you now. Bastard. Get your ass back now. If you escape, they'll kill the rest of us. I don't want to go back. I don't ever want to go there again. What good's crying gonna do, damn brat? Go back. Just kill me instead. If I go back, I'll die anyway. And then Bonnie's just like, she's crying. She's like, what? Dang, they're beating him. Bonnie's shouting, stop. It hurts. I'm sorry. Stop it. Help me. It hurts. I'm sorry. Save me. And then Bonnie's just, she's like breaking down right now. Bonnie's all like, please stop it. Dang. And then she got flung out of the memory bubble. What the heck did she see? And now we cut to Kuma. He's still scaling the red line. Bartholomew Kuma is still going. Shoot him down. Next page, okay. I couldn't take it all in. My resolve wasn't strong enough. Oh, dang, look at this panel of Kuma smiling. But if I stay ignorant, I'll never be able to understand. Right, Dad? Is she going back in? Dang. Kuma's such a mysterious character, dude. And even the bits of information that they're giving us is very scattered. that we're still not getting quite a picture, like a big picture of what he's gone through. Dude, he's one of the characters I'm looking forward to see his backstory the most. I don't know if we're... Okay, look, let me just continue. Okay, so, wow, they really totaled the place, even though they were born here. Okay, Clank, Stella, where the blazes did you get to? Explosion, kaboom. Cool, ha ha ha. Get a load of this. An insane scoop just came in. Are we gonna get big news, bad news, Morgan? Whatever the heck. Big news, Morgan. Bad news, Morgan? Big news, Morgan. Look, let's move on. You know who I'm talking about, all right. Gotcha. Okay, so he hung up the transponders now. The world government intends to assassinate the beloved Dr. Vegapunk. They plan to kill the world's greatest genius. It's like Ohara all over again. But they've miscalculated this time. The good doctor is far too popular for this to fly. He's loved as the man that develops energy to light up towns the world over. Fortunately, guess who else happens to be on the scene? This guy. So let's make the headline. Navy skirmish at Egghead. Emperor Straw Hat Luffy takes Vegapunk hostage. Dang, they're gonna do it like that? Holy moly, okay. Emperor Straw Hat Luffy takes Vegapunk hostage. That's the headline. Dang. I'm sure the government will appreciate that spin. Go collect their contribution. Yes, that's outrageous. Luffy-san would never do something like that. The economic journal is such a... Oh, that's Vivi! That's Vivi. My eye finally drifted a little downwards and I saw Vivi's face. I was reading the bubble, then my eyes drifted a little. I was like, dang, that's Vivi. Okay, so hold up. Luffy-san would never do something like that. The economic journal is such a rag. Keep your voice down. What if there's a wiretap snail around here? The government will erase us. Oh, and that's freaking Wapple too. King of, King of Evil Black Drum, Wapple. And then and then we got Princess of Alabasta, Vivi. Dang, Nefertari Vivi, she's back in the picture. Nice. So now we know she's alive, she's safe. Cool. I guess we kind of knew that, but alright, look. She's back. I like her a lot. I'm happy she's well. Okay, so then we got a thought bubble here in the back. She actually borrowed my clothes. I'm never washing them again. Besides, Morg-chan. Morg-chan took us in. Don't be rude. Big talk for a girl who was bawling her eyes out yesterday. Don't look down on me or tell me how to do my job. My words can shake the world. Besides, news isn't about fact or fiction. It's about entertainment. How information flies. And that's going to be the end of One Piece chapter 1074. Alright, so decent chapter. Kind of slow pace compared to the last previous chapters that we've read. It is interesting that Morgans is now in the picture again. Vivi's also back in. I'm interested to see what else Bonnie is going to learn by looking into Kuma's memories. I honestly think that's something that I've been looking forward to the most ever since Kuma's whole character was revealed to be who he is. You know, he became a slave of the world government, lost his memory, you know, the whole everything. I think the most interesting, I really want to see Kuma's backstory, and I hope we get more. We kind of saw bits and pieces here, and it looks like Bonnie was seeing part of his childhood. You know, she found Kuma crying, and then here come these guys, and they're saying, hey, if you escape, they'll kill the rest of us. And then Kuma's all like, I don't want to go back. I don't ever want to go there again. And he's crying. And then the other guys are like, no, Kuma says, just kill me instead. If I go back, I'll die anyway. And then Bonnie's seeing all this. And then these two guys are freaking taking hammers or what is like baseball bat type of objects. And they're freaking beating him, whacking him over the head. And Kuma's just suffering. And I guess the outline of some of these guys, they kind of look like celestial dragons. The ones who are doing the beating, not so much. But the ones in this panel here, kind of like the top of their head, they have the point that celestial dragons seem to have. I don't know exactly. Look. And then we kind of see like a glimpse of a castle. The Sorbet. I know. Okay, look. Kuma's from the Sorbet Kingdom. His childhood we don't know much about. He's a current slave, or was a slave recently. Now he's still scaling Marie-Joie, because after this whole flashback with Bonnie, or memory insight we get with Bonnie, we cut to a scene of Kuma still scaling the red line, and the people still want to shoot him down, so it's almost like he's after vengeance or something. I'm really interested, dude. That's my focus on this chapter. Like, I really want to see what he's all about. And then CP9, CP0, Kaku, and Lucci are all like, man, I wish I could go back to Water 7 with Iceberg. Like, F this, dude. That's crazy. Dang. So I wonder how this chapter, how this is going to play out. Luckily, I have another chapter to read, so hopefully we can fill in more of the gaps here. So let me go ahead and get started on the next chapter. One Piece chapter 1075, Labostratum Death Game. And the cover story, look at what we got here. We got Dr. Vegapunk with the Five Elders, Germa 66 Cold-Blooded Voyage, Volume 31. Granted an audience with the Five Elders due to his scientific genius. You know what? Two things stand out here. Two things stand out in this panel. Number one, the Five Elders are covered in shadows. We can see their silhouette, but we can't see their faces. I'm wondering, am I looking too much into that, or does that, you know, okay, look. To me, when something like that happens, it's usually because Oda is trying to, or the author is trying to draw our attention to them, and maybe like plant the seeds for something that's going to happen later in the series. Like, for example, we have the Five Elders here, covered in shadow, like I said. They're all looking at us. Every single one of them is looking at us, the viewer, including Vegapunk. But here at the right, the far right, the bald guy with a sword, he seems to be standing away. Like, he seems to have his back towards the viewer, towards the reader. And one thing that comes to mind is, remember back in the day when the Wano arc started in the anime? If you go back and look at the opening, you would see that when the 9 scabbards were shown in the opening, you know, they had their screen time in the opening, every single one of them was facing the viewer. But then if you look very closely, Kanjuro, who ended up being the traitor, his back was towards the viewer. Like, he had his back towards the screen. So I'm thinking of that already. Every single person here in this panel is facing us. The only one that isn't is the bald guy in the far right with a sword. Now, could it be because he doesn't have facial hair and there's no way to convey that? You know, because you could see everybody else has facial hair and it's white, so it pops, it stands out. So I don't think the bald guy has facial hair, so maybe that's why Oda drew him backwards like that, you know, with his back towards us. But then again, I can't help but wonder if that's trying to kind of, hey, you know, like, pay attention to this, because it's going to come back later. So, what's up with that? Also, Vegapunk is... Again, is it just me? Am I reaching for something that isn't there? But for some reason, the young Vegapunk, especially in every cover art they've shown him, something looks off about him to me. I can't really say what exactly. I mean, I guess it's because he's dressed in all black, and in his youth he looked more crazy than he does now as an old man. Excuse me, I had to take a drink of water here. I just realized I haven't been hydrating throughout this entire reading. Not as much as I should. Anyway, alright, so look. My thought process. What was I saying? I forgot. Okay, Vegapunk, right? Vegapunk, I don't know what it is about him and these cover art panels, but to me he just looks a little too crazy. Definitely not the happy old man type of appearance that he has going on right now in present day. But if you look at Vegapunk right now, he looks like a freaking mad scientist. I guess he is. He actually is one. But he looks actually kind of that he has some malicious intent in him. But again, we've seen what he does. He works for the government. He's not particularly good or evil. But just by looking at him, to me, right? Like I said, I don't know if I'm reaching for something that isn't there, but to me, it almost seems like Vegapunk could possibly be a bad guy in the future. I don't know. He looks like an elder in this panel. Like the 5 elders wear black, I think, except for the swordsman. He's in a white clothing. But he looks like he could be a member of the 5 elders in this. I don't know, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, this whole panel, this whole cover art looks it looks really mysterious. Almost like there's something being foreshadowed here. And I'm looking at the guy at the far right. He has his back towards us. Could it be that maybe, as the story goes on, could it be that one of the 5 elders isn't completely on board with what's going on in the One Piece world? Could be. Anyway, I think I spent a lot of time on this cover art, so let me actually start reading here. The aftermath of the explosion. Come in, Pythagoras. Do you read me? I heard a loud boom. What was that? Pythagoras, please respond. Has there been an accident? You weren't caught up in it, were you? Snail 12, Building C. Check the surrounding area. Okay. What was that shadow? What the heck is that? Another explosion. Another big boom. Okay. Hey. The snail's been hit. What's up, Luffy? Hush. Hey, helmet guy. Is something wrong with this thing? Everyone's voice cut off suddenly. Everyone's voices cut off suddenly. Okay. We got a little graph here. So we got building C, A, and B. Floor 1, 2, 3, and 4. 3rd floor, building A. Where are you, Vegapunk? Ah, precious gems. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Hey, ain't you being a bit forward? Most just say they're pretty. There's no harm in it, right? Everyone's evacuating after all. You're not wrong there, but I still reckon you folks have got a screw loose. Phew, this is heavy. Shall we head back? We're supposed to be looking for the Stella. Fine, I'll just leave them for now, but we'd better come back this way later. You know, those diamonds are man-made. They're meant to be for industrial purposes only. What? You can make diamonds? What's with that look in your eyes? The future really is a place of dreams. Enough already. Stella, where are you? 2nd floor, building A. So your face is like a mask? Yep, I can replace any part of my body whenever I need. That's the future for you. I wonder, are these Vegapunks? And then, so Robin was saying something, didn't finish her thought, then get like a thought bubble here, exclamation. Those are man-made organoids. They'll be indispensable for the doctors of the future. What? You can actually grow new organs? That's amazing. Oh, I thought these were Vegapunk's organs and someone cut him to pieces. You're scary. Okay, so we go to the command room. 4th floor, building A. What's going on? Hey, helmet guy. Edison, it's Shaka. Do you read me? I could hear everyone fine a second ago. I swear I didn't break it or knock it. Or anything, I think. It's not that. Look at this. Okay. The camera feeds. They keep going out, one after the other. There's someone else in the lab. What? I wonder who could, like, do we got a traitor? Like, it seems recently the theme seems to be there's a traitor among us. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so we're on the next page. So we're in the 2nd floor, building B, the right side. I can't believe I get to travel the seas with you, Lady Stussy. You were at Big Mom's party, right? You can consider me your loyal dog. Dang, man. Just like that, Sanji. Not bad, not bad. All right. Just keep your eyes out for the Stella, silly. This part of the lab sure is huge. That's because on the weapons. That's because we're on the weapons development floor. You wouldn't want any shockwaves set. You wouldn't want any shockwaves setting things off down here. Third floor, building C, left side. A bubble gun? That's right. It makes the strongest bubbles. They can bounce anything back. I'm sleepy. What kind of attack just bounces things back? Hey, Vegapunk. Okay. Next page. Ah, this looks bad. What happened? Is this the aftermath of that explosion? There's someone here. Hey, isn't that... It's Pythagoras. Dang, he got wrecked. Hang in there. Whoa, he's got no head. That's gory. Don't tell me it was blown off. That big boom we heard earlier was because of this? And then there's some rustling going on. Okay. Wow, who's there? Hey, don't shoot. It's me. Pythagoras or his head anyway. What happened? Some kind of accident? No. This looks like an attack. It was a Dardis thing. It'll sound impossible, but I know my eyes weren't playing tricks on me. Hurry up and tell us. I'm forced to wonder if we have a grave miscalculation. I'm forced to wonder if we made a grave miscalculation. Spit it out already. Didn't Edison order you to hold your horses earlier? York? You should really still be waiting out there, even though you're so cute. And then next we got a Boa Hancock Seraphim. Next panel. York, get away from her. Love, mellow. Oh, there she goes. Turn to stone. Dang. GG's. That was some... Did I skip anything? No. Okay, so... It's a nice panel art over here. Okay, she got her. Yeah. York. What? A seraphim? Why are you here? What? You shouldn't be able to move on your own. I command you to stop. No, she's not listening. She's charging up, and then a big explosion. Kaboom. Dang. Fired right at him. Something's off here. Don't they realize we're Vegapunk? Hey, you know what that means? Okay, so hold up. They say, don't they realize we're Vegapunk? I know, they're not accepting our orders. Okay, so really quickly. Right now, they're trying to command the Seraphims, but remember the chain of authority. The elders are higher in command than Vegapunk, right? So does that mean Saint J. Garcia is possibly in Egghead already, commanding the Seraphim? Or is something else going on? Like, is one of the Vegapunks a traitor, perhaps? Two different scenarios that I'm thinking of in my head. I don't know which one is more likely. It seems like they could both be possibly likely, but I'm not sure. I'm just kind of throwing ideas here. But that's just the first thing that came to my head. So, okay, so they can't get the Seraphim under control. She shot an explosion. And then they're kind of realizing, hey, you know, something's off here. You know, they're not obeying our orders. So, we go on to the next page. Okay, so more action sequence. And then Frankie's all like, son of a... Didn't see this twist coming. Should I return fire? Okay, that little girl's... Shaka, respond. It's no good. We can't reach them. What? Quit joking around. We won't stand a chance in a fight. We designed them to be the most powerful beings around. Command room, building A. Give me a hand, Luffy. What's up, Zoro? Huh? What? You? S-Bear, stop this immediately. Who ordered you to move? No response. Good. You can stop them, right? They were gunning for CP0. Letting them die in cuffs would leave a bad taste in my mouth. And here we go. Kuma and Mihawk, they're charging up, getting ready to attack. And, hey, you know what? Luffy and Zoro, they're protecting They're protecting Lucci and Kaku. Because they're, as you can see on this panel, they're down and out on the ground, unconscious or unable to move. And here you have Luffy and Zoro standing in front of them, ready to fight the Seraphim. This is an interesting turn of events, but it makes sense because, you know, Zoro says, hey, you know, we can't let him die in cuffs because that would leave a bad taste in my mouth. So I'm wondering if there's going to be some sort of temporary alliance between the Straw Hats and CP0 at this point. At least Lucci and Kaku. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking a little bit too much into it, but this is kind of nice to see that they're protecting the enemy even at this point. I don't know if I'm alone in that, but let's move on to the next page. Okay, so another explosion. They're not listening. They want us dead. Wait, no, hold up. Okay, let me see. Let me make sure I don't read out of order. They're not listening. Okay. And then, if they won't take an order, if they won't take my orders, then they must already be acting on command, on a command issued by a Vegapunk. What? Between the communication blackout and the barrier sealing us in, this is beginning to seem like an elaborate plan. Somebody's trying to kill us all. What? They want us dead? Those no good Seraphim? Hey, Straw Hat, Roronoa, how about we let bygones be bygones for now? They're gonna team up. We could form a temporary alliance. I was right on the money with that. We could form a temporary alliance. The two of us would be much more useful out of these cuffs. Look at these freaking faces of Zoro and Luffy. They look disgusted, dude. That's the iconic face that Oden introduced back in the day when we got his backstory. They look disgusted. An unprecedented team up. And that's going to be the end of chapter 1075. Okay. It does seem like there is a traitor among us. You know what I'm saying? This is okay, but this is interesting because now who could be the traitor, perhaps? So Shaka says, if they won't take my orders, they must already be acting on a command issued by a Vegapunk. And then he's all like, this is an elaborate plan to take us out. So somebody's trying to kill them. They're starting to recognize that. Who could it be, though? So, by a Vegapunk. So there are, out of all the Vegapunks that we've been introduced to, who is more likely to be a traitor, to turn heel on us? At this point in time, I can't put my finger on anything. My first guess was going to be Pythagoras because, we go back in this chapter. At first, they find his body without a head. And then his head shows up. Right? So if his head had not shown up, I would have assumed immediately Pythagoras set up his own death. He faked his death, and he's giving command, but then his head shows up, and then I don't know. Honestly, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if it's him, just because that's the most suspicious thing one of the Vegapunks has done. And then you got the girl, York, who got frozen, who got turned to stone. But if she got turned to stone, that means her authority would be invalid, right? Because if she got turned to stone, that means her command over the Stellas, over the Seraphim, would stop because she's not conscious anymore. I think that's how it works. I don't know. Yeah, because they're making it a point in this chapter to tell us, the reader, something is off. They don't realize, don't they realize we're Vegapunk? They're not accepting our orders. And then they go on to say, hey, that this means they're already acting on a command issued by a Vegapunk. It could be either one of them. Could it be Shaka? I mean, we haven't even seen his face. He's hecka mysterious. He just has a helmet with the number 1 on it. Could be anybody at this point. I can't bring myself to name a specific individual Vegapunk and be confident that it could be them. What about Vegapunk himself? You know, as I've been saying, Vegapunk looks suspicious. He looks there's just something about him that I'm not quite sure of yet. It doesn't make me trust him all the way 100%. You know what I'm saying? Just something about his character. He seems a little too nice and too friendly. You know what I'm saying? And then you go back and look at the cover arts. I mean, even the one in the beginning of this chapter, he managed to get an audience with the 5 elders. Am I looking too much into the appearance? Because Vegapunk in the past, dressed in all black, he just looked crazy. Like a mad scientist, but an actual mad scientist. Like, he is evil. That's just the vibe I'm getting from him. I don't know if there's anyone else who has the same feelings as me, but I don't care what it sounds like. I'm just making my thoughts be known. Could very well be that I'm looking too much into it and Vegapunk is actually a good guy 100%. But as of right now, you know, I'm just throwing ideas out there. Who could be the bad guy? Who's the traitor? Who could be a heel? Whatever the heck. It's a Vegapunk. You know, according to this guy, he says, hey, you know, this has got to be an act of a Vegapunk. Someone's trying to kill us all, he says. I think CP0's at the bottom. And then I believe it was Sentomaru. No, hold up. I gotta go back and look at that. But the chain of command is CP0, Vegapunk, and then the 5 elders at the very top, I believe. I think I might be missing one person in the chain of command of the Seraphim. But if there's no elder, like let's assume Saint J. Garcia was close enough to command the Seraphim. He'd have to be an egghead, right? Because I think in the beginning of this arc, or like when CP0 first got introduced again, I think they made it a point to say that the elders can't command them through transponder snails. I think, if I remember correctly. Even though they are the highest authority. So if the elders aren't here, if Saint J. Garcia's not here, it's got to be a Vegapunk, like it was stated here. But who? I don't know. Interesting. And now we got this team up. We got Luffy and Zoro teaming up with Lucci and Kaku. They're not thrilled with the idea. As you can see by the ending panel of this chapter, they're not thrilled with it. But I think this would be an interesting team. It's going to be an interesting team. And I got to say, I'm kind of happy, looking forward to this potential team up. Because Kaku and Lucci, they have not been having a good time ever since they arrived at Egghead. They got into a skirmish with Luffy, and then they got betrayed by Stuzy, and then they were about to get killed until Zoro and Luffy stepped in and protected them. So now they're like, hey, you know what? For now, let's just freaking put our differences aside, and then kind of team up to defeat this threat that we're facing. I know it's not the same as when Garp and Roger teamed up to defeat Rox and the Rox Pirates. But this is kind of a nice nod towards that. To see Luffy and Lucci team up. It'd be kind of interesting to see. I want to see how they work together, if at all. And then Zoro and Kaku, they have history, of course, so that's a match right there. And also, you gotta give respect to these characters, because Kaku, for example, He's only had his devil fruit for 2 years and he's already awakened it. Lucci, he was already good pre-time skip. And then of course, he has awakened his devil fruit now. And I think we all knew that he wasn't going to beat Luffy in a fight. Not going to happen. But this is an opportunity for us to really see what Lucci and Kaku can do and show us their growth without having them to deal with the main characters, which is essentially a no contest because they're not going to beat him at this point. So I'm interested to see how this goes down, how this team up goes down. But yeah, so it looks like there's another traitor among us, and we have no idea who it is. I don't know. Maybe you guys have an idea of who it could be. There might be some clues that I missed in the chapter today and the previous chapters that kind of give us a good idea of who it could be. But as of right now, I am not sure who to really single out as a potential traitor. I'm not sure yet. Might have to go back and look at the chapter, reread some things, see if I missed any details. But that was the end of chapter 1075. That's the end of the chapter, and it looks like there is no break, so there will be a chapter next week, which is good. Let's see how the story progresses. Hopefully we get more Bonnie and Kuma memories. I want to see that and see what the actual Kuma is up to in present day. Anyway, I wonder if this is going to be a big plot twist, like when the traitor gets revealed. Is it going to be like a Conjuro type of thing where it's like, holy moly? You know, that was a big shock. I wonder if it's going to be of that magnitude. I don't know. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be reading through One Piece chapter 1076. So there's a lot of interesting stuff, interesting things going on in this arc. In particular, the last chapter, a couple things that stood out is that apparently there is a traitor among us. You know what I'm saying? It seems like there is somebody who we think is a friend who's not really a friend and is actually working with the world government, or, you know, plotting to kill the Vegapunks, the Straw Hat crew, all of that stuff. And then towards the end of the last chapter, I think it was actually the ending of the last chapter, is we see that CP0, Lucci and Kaku, are gonna be teaming up with Luffy and Zoro in order to bring down a pacifista, one of the Seraphims, or multiple, I believe. So the interesting thing about this is that we're going to have a 4-person team trying to take down Seraphims, right? I can see why some people might have a problem with this, because at the level that Luffy and Zoro are right now, I think both of them could potentially clear Seraphims. But then again, you kind of look at how Blackbeard kind of struggled with one. So it's kind of like, okay, well, could they beat them? Yes or no? Regardless of what you think, it is interesting to see that Luffy and Zoro are going to be teaming up with the enemy, in this case CP0. And one thing we also saw is that both Lucci and Kaku were kind of thinking to themselves, you know, as they were laying on the floor just freaking beaten up, they were all like, man, dude, I wish I could go back to Water 7 and work with Iceberg. You know, I wonder how Iceberg is doing. So they were kind of just thinking over their actions and what they've been doing. They were all like, man, dude, it would be nice if I could just go back to my peaceful life at Water 7, not have to deal with all this government shenanigans, you know what I'm saying? So it's interesting to see that there is a potential team, there's a potential team up that's gonna happen. And I wonder how that's gonna carry out, you know, because Kaku's all like, you know, let's put differences aside, let's form a temporary alliance. Okay, cool. What about what happens after that alliance? Is there perhaps a possibility that Lucci and Kaku could potentially kind of like go towards the good side more than the government? You know what I'm trying to say? Chances of that happening maybe not very likely, but regardless, this is going to be an interesting team that's being formed here and that's going to work together. Another thing that stood out to me before I forget is that Bonnie saw some of Kuma's memories, and from what we saw is that Kuma at a younger age, he was kind of by himself. He was by himself somewhere, and he was kind of hunched over, and he was crying. And then here along come these people, along come people, right? And they're all like, you know, hey, you know, give yourself up or we're gonna get killed, or they said something along those lines. And then Kuma's all like, you know what, I don't want to go back, don't take me back, because even if I go back, I'm gonna get killed, so I might as well just die right here anyway. And then the people who were, were just covered in shadows, they started beating him over the head with freaking baseball bats or weapons. You know what I'm saying? They started beating Kuma, and then poor Bonnie seeing all of this, and she's all like, "No, don't hurt my dad. Stop it. Whatever, whatever." And eventually, she got flung out of Kuma's memories. So I'm really interested to see how freaking. I want to see more of Kuma's backstory. I really do. I want to see more of Kuma's backstory, and I am like really I'm really interested in seeing what he's all about. And we're getting bits and pieces here and there. We also saw that he's still climbing the red line. So I wonder what he's going to do with that. On top of that, the cover story of the last chapter, we saw that Vegapunk was having a meeting with the 5 elders. And the 5 elders are in the background. They're covered in shadow. You can't see their faces. You can see their appearances, their shape, their silhouette, whatever. 4 of the 5 elders are facing the camera. The bald guy is facing away from the camera. Like, he's not facing the viewer. He has his back pointing towards us, the viewer / reader. I looked at that and I was all like, all right, what could be, what's being said here? Is it implying that perhaps one of the 5 elders, the bald guy in this case, isn't completely on board with their plans, and could he, abandon the government and become an ally? Maybe. He could potentially be a traitor, and it seems like traitor has been the theme of One Piece lately. You had Wano with Kanjuro, Vegapunk, now in Egghead Island, there's supposedly a traitor. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a traitor within the... Stuzy, she betrayed CP0, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's a traitor among the 5 elders. Because last time, I think I mentioned this last chapter, in Wano, in the anime of One Piece, during the Wano arc, one of the openings, it showed all the 9 scabbards, right? Everybody was facing the viewer, facing forward, and then when it cut to Kanjuro, he was in the back. His back was towards us, and he was colored red, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of figured maybe they're doing something like that with that cover story. Also, before I forget, I know I'm rambling a long time, but I just got to get all my thoughts in. Before I forget, it's very possible that the 5 elders are also covered in shadow, because Oda doesn't want to let us know what they looked like back in the day. However, I have a strong suspicion that these 5 elders are a product of the of Lost Devil Fruit, the Up fruit, whatever the heck. If I said that wrong, look, you know what I'm trying to say. Lost Devil Fruit, it has the ability, combined with the great treasure of Marijo, I believe that's what Doflamingo said, to grant a person eternal youth. Essentially, so what I'm trying to say is, maybe perhaps in the past, these 5 elders were a product of that surgery, enabling them to be eternal youth. Yeah, they're not young, a lot of them, but many of them are old. But what I'm trying to say is that if this surgery was performed on them, they would stop aging where they were, and or at least their appearance would stop, and they would continue living until forever, essentially, because eternal youth and immortality are different things. I believe Lost Devil Fruit grants eternal youth, right? So, and then to support this, remember back in the day when Ohara was going on, and then the elders ordered this the Buster Call on Ohara? They were the same. The elders back then, they looked the same as they do in present day. They haven't aged at all, it seems. So it's realistic to think that perhaps they are indeed the product of this surgery of Lost Devil Fruit, plus the other variable that factors into this, you know what I'm saying? So maybe that's why Oda covered them in shadow, because it's mysterious and it gets people talking like we are right now. And I do think that they are eternally youthful. They don't age anymore. At whatever age they stopped aging, the surgery was performed on them. That's where they are right now, and they will continue to do so until someone kills them, essentially. So that's one thing I wanted to point out. Anyway, look, I've been going on and on about this pre-talk of this chapter, of last chapter. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop my comments here, and I'm gonna get into the reading right now. It looks like we got a nice cover art right here. This is I always look forward to cover arts of color spreads of One Piece. This looks pretty sick. I like it a lot. Very creative. I like it a lot. Okay, so moving on. Okay. So One Piece chapter 1076, Old Friends. Are they really joining forces? Let's say we free you guys. I can't see you letting us cuff you again later. That's not true. When we're out of danger, we'll put these restraints back on without a fight. And Kaku's saying that. And then freaking Luffy's all like, really? In that case, sure. He's obviously lying. And here comes Mihawk Seraphim. He's going on the attack. Big slash. They avoided it. Zoro's all like, what? Isn't that... Oh, dude! He's using freaking, what's his name? Das Bones? Whatever the heck. And Zoro's, remembering that. Isn't that the Dice Fruit's power? Interesting. Okay. Okay, hold up. Alright. Zero, Noah? You keep having to save us. You won't get anywhere like this. CP0, let me ask. What was your mission here? Eliminating all 7 Vegapunks. Lucci, don't just blurt it out like that. And I take it you won't let Stussy off the hook, given her betrayal? That's right. I won't show her any mercy. Are you trying to convince them not to save us? Yeah. Okay. Lucci's hecka blunt, dude. I like that about him. He's tight. One of my favorite characters. Alright. That was Nami. All 4 of those things must be running wild. How are we meant to protect everyone on top of the 7 Vegapunks? Hey, Helmet, give me the cuff keys. I'll leave the decision in your hands. Just please protect the Stella at all costs. When those 4 guys are out of the way, and you realize you can't beat me, you won't be a sore loser and go after my friends and the Vegapunks, right? You idiots. These guys won't fall for a taunt like that. Fat chance. And, you're the top priority on my hit list, you straw-hatted bastard. I won't go out of order, but your friends won't outlive you for long. And then Zoro's all like, he took the bait. And then here comes Kuma Seraphim charging up. Ursa, shock. Dang, look at that. I love that attack. One of my favorite attacks in the series. Okay, Luffy's going to 4th gear. Okay, Gum. Sorry about this, Bonnie. And then Lucci also transformed. Gum, Kong, Gun, and 6 King Gun. Dang, look at this teamwork right here. I like that. Dang. Tempest Kick. White Thunder. Purgatory Onigiri. And then we got Lucci and... Sorry, not Lucci. Zoro and Kaku. I'm loving the teamwork that's going on over here. They look so sick. Alright. Just a lot of action panels right now. Close-ups of the face. Big explosions. Dang, freaking Kuma Seraphim got wrecked. He got sent flying. Alright, so the next page cuts to deep within the lab. Need food. We haven't had a decent meal in over 2 months. I wonder if we'll ever be allowed to leave. Are we gonna die here? World Government Intelligence. CP5, CP7, and CP8 agents. Okay, so this right here. Remember when CP0 was coming to Egghead and they were like docked outside? They were all like, hey, you know what? Other CP Cypherpole units got sent here to Egghead and they never returned. What do you know about that, Vegapunk? And they were all like, hey, we don't know anything. You know what I'm saying? But now here we see that they are, it looks like they're contained in this, what the heck is this? I don't know. They're contained, right? And then they're all like, they're starving to death. Look at these guys. They're freaking rail thin looking gaunt. And they're all like, I wonder if we'll ever be allowed to leave. Are we going to die here? And they're begging for food. All right, so those are CP5, 7, and 8 again. Okay. 2 months back when we were meant to set sail after our inspection of Egghead. Those weaponized sea beasts attacked us, and we were brought back to the island. Then, all the other agents that came to look into our disappearance met the same fate too. So I figured you were the one behind it all. Is that Vegapunk? Yeah. Dr. Vegapunk. He got arrested too? I mean, he's in handcuffs. What the heck? Hold up. Okay. Yeah, he's kind of, moving his hands, his wrist here, his arm, and it's yeah, there's a wrist handcuff on him. Just okay. Sorry. I'm afraid I had no idea. To think this was happening on Egghead right under my nose. Interesting. So who the heck is a traitor? Okay. I don't know. I don't know who to believe at this point. How troubling. This whole affair's been baffling from the start. Word leaking to the government about our research into the poneglyphs should have been impossible. The Navy has successfully deployed from Branch G9. We have over 100 ships of all sizes en route. All heading for Egghead. Understood. Yeah, okay, yeah. So they're going all to Egghead. Understood. All right, next page. A bar at a small port. On a certain island in the New World. Take me with you. Take me with you. Take me. Come on. Don't be so dumb. There's no... Oh, is that Shanks? That's got to be Shanks. Look at that silhouette. Look at that shadow. That's got to be Shanks. Here, he's making his appearance again. Interesting. Okay. Once every 100 chapters. Funny. Not really, obviously, but he's a rare Pokemon of sorts. Anyway, all right, so someone's all like, hey, take me with you. Come on. Don't be dumb. There's no way I'd bring a hot-headed kid like you. Is that not, yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh, they gotta be an Elbaf. Hold up. They gotta be an Elbaf because look at the silhouette. Look, okay, so that's Shanks drinking, right? That's gotta be Shanks. If it's not, then what the heck? Okay, but then the next panel, this little kid, he's wearing the freaking helmets that giants wear in Elbaf. He's an Elbaf. All right. Why don't you give it up? You'll make all the other captains jealous. No way. I really look up to the chief. Boss, the bastards are actually attacking us. So far they've just been scrapping with our youngsters. But what do you want to do? Seems like it'll turn into a full-on battle soon. Yep, that's Shanks. He's drinking. I don't know whether you call this good or bad timing. We were just about to set off. Okay. Guess I lost track of time, catching up with everyone. Can't be helped when you suddenly come across old friends you thought were dead. The enemy's gonna be pissed at you for keeping them waiting. Yeah, haha, you can't talk, Beck. Do you really think he's the only one they're mad at? Okay. Let's set sail. So we're really doing this, Chief. I'd never let this island become a war zone. Oh wait, hold up. Different panel I gotta read. I just scroll down. Okay. You're going out there to fight, Shanks? I never let this island become a war zone. Oh, he's so dreamy. I don't want to cause any major trouble here. Hey, Dory. Dang, it's these guys. Okay, hold up. Hey, Dory, Brogy, can you lend me a hand? Okay. Next page. Sure, brother. I don't mind. Before that, can you go check something for me, Rockstar? You have a message for Captain Kidd? Okay, hold up. You have a message for Captain Kidd? Yeah, haha. Let's do it, red hair. Yeah, tell him. He has a choice. He can either hand over his road poneglyph rubbings and scram, or he can risk fighting me. Dang, okay. And then we got a text box here. It says, this island is actually Elbaf, the home of the most prideful warriors around. Dang, so we're making... Yo, that kid that we saw drinking, he's freaking huge. He's over here at the top left. Like, okay, yeah, all right. Okay, so red hair pirate. Shanks and his crew. They're in Elbaf, and then Kidd is also... Okay, all right, let's see where this goes on. So, essentially, Shanks is saying, hey, you know what? He has a choice. Hand over the road poneglyph and book it, leave, or you can risk fighting me. Didn't they already fight one time back in the day? And that how he lost his arm? Anyway, all right, next page. Warland, Elbaf, New World. Those ships on the horizon are all his, including the one lagging behind. They're allies of the red hair pirates. Every one of them seems like a big shot, and they're all sworn to the Emperor. Last time, it was completely one-sided. They took your arm before you even got a glimpse of Red Hair himself. Fa fa fa. Hey, that's kind of like how back in the day in Wano, when Luffy had just entered Whole Cake Island and he was fighting Brule, she was all like, hey, you know what? Everybody who has come to challenge Big Mom, they didn't even catch a glimpse of her. They got freaking wrecked before they even saw her. And then she goes on to mention, Brule goes on to mention that the only one who even stood a chance, who had a shot, was Rouge at that time, who took down one of the commanders. I think it was Commander Snack, I believe was his name. And then here comes freaking Cracker and takes him out. Rouge is interesting. I think we're going to see more of him in the coming chapters. I don't know how soon, but like I've been saying before, he's the only supernova, the only one of the worst generation who hasn't gotten a focus in the main story. You know what I'm saying? So Rouge is definitely going to be next up for character development and big happenings with the story. All right, so okay, so Kid is just talking to Killer. Hey, you know, last time was completely one-sided. They took your arm before we even got a glimpse of Red Hair himself. Okay, next page. They won't settle for an arm this time. Make way, the Chief's coming through. Chief, I'm so glad to see you, Chief. You too, Beckman. I feel like we totally owe you protection money. We don't do that. They'll take your life instead. Ha ha ha. Only if I lose. Bold warriors face off, and that's going to be the end of chapter 1076. Okay, yeah, so, and there is a break next week after, oh yeah, so it says break next week, so chapter 1077 is going to be 2 weeks away from today. Cool. So, what do we got going on in the story here? All right, so here is the Red Hair Pirates and the Kid Pirates. They are both in Elbaf at this time, and it seems like they are gonna be facing off because there's no way Kid backs down. Come on, Kid's not gonna do that. He's not gonna back down, and you know as we know, it was freaking one-sided the last time. So now here comes a rematch, Kid versus Shanks. How's this going to go down, and what's going to happen here? Because Shanks wants the Road Poneglyph. He wants the Road Poneglyph. He wants to go get the One Piece as well. You know, it took him 1,000+ chapters, but now out of nowhere, after the end of Wano, he's all like, hey, it's our time. Let's go get the One Piece. So he wants to go get the One Piece too. This means, okay. And, alright. So look here. So it seems like everybody in Elbaf absolutely loves Shanks and his crew. They're all up on him. They're hugging him. They're freaking hyped that they're there. And, I just went back a few pages. Like, check this panel out right here. Here we see Shanks and his crew. Front and center. And to the back of them, giants. That is this lineup right here. Just looking at this lineup right here. That's gonna be a massive cliff to climb. Like, that is a massive obstacle for anybody. You got an Emperor of the Sea who is being backed by the giant pirates. They love these people. That's a tall order right there, you know what I'm saying? I could see, Shanks and his crew. And then we got Dory and Brogy. And then in the back, we see Oimo and Kashi, I believe, from Water 7, if I remember correctly. I believe that's them. It's been a while. So just looking at this panel, right? This is enough to wipe out practically every single non-Emperor crew. I guess Kid is going to have to fight real hard. Dang. Because the giant pirates, they're prideful. I mean, even the caption says it. This is Elbaf, home of the most prideful warriors around. And remember what Big Mom said, you know, if Lola had gotten married to Loki, the Prince of Elbaf, Big Mom says that she would have gotten control of the giant pirate military, which would have been enough, she says. Remember back in the day when Luffy was in jail in Whole Cake? Big Mom goes on to say, if I had the strength of the army of the giant pirates from Elbaf, I would have been strong enough to overtake Whitebeard. I would have defeated Whitebeard. I would have defeated Kaido. And she goes on to say, I would have become the king of the pirates already. That's how strong this army of giants is. And then Shanks has them backing him up. I don't know. I mean, we all know Kid is strong. You know what I'm saying? Kid is strong. We've seen what he can do. But this is going to be a tall order. He's going to have to do something pretty, I don't know, something big to even, I guess, go toe-to-toe with him. Imagine they have a Davy back fight. That'd be interesting. We haven't seen, at some point, a Davy back fight has got to come back, right? We've only seen one in Long Ring Longland. We've seen one Davy back fight. I wonder if at any point in the story it's going to come back. Because I feel like the introduction to the Davy back fight in Long Ring Longland was set there to maybe introduce the concept, because later down the line Oda might want to use it for something more important. And you know, people think that Long Ring Longland is kind of like a, it's obviously canon to the story, you know, it's a legit story arc, it's not filler. But people say that it feels like a filler arc because it's more comedic, it's a lot of comedy, and you know what I'm saying? But when you go back and look at that, Long Ring Longland might be a very important arc in the long run. And it kind of like Skypiea, we might see the importance of Long Ring Longland the further along we get into the story of One Piece. So let's assume there's a Davy back fight, right? I could definitely see a Davy back fight taking place for the poneglyphs. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, you know, Shanks and Kid look like they mean business, like actually going to war, you know, 1v1 combat. But maybe when Luffy and his crew get to Elbaf, at some point, I wouldn't be surprised if a Davy back fight is played out to gain control of all the poneglyphs, the road poneglyphs. So let's see. Because we only need the location of one, because one's in Zoe, one's in Big Mom's possession, the other one Kaido had. So the one missing road poneglyph, I believe it's got to be in Elbaf. On the island or in possession of Shanks. But Elbaf is becoming too big of an arc to just have not have a road poneglyph, you know what I'm saying? It's got to be there. Plus, the entire library of Ohara is there too, with Saul being alive. Like, come on, dude. Elbaf is being set up to be one of the most important arcs in One Piece. And the sooner the Straw Hats can get there, the better. Like, I want to see what happens. And I want to see the interaction between Straw Hat Pirates and the Giants, Robin reuniting with Saul. I want to see if we get more information on Loki. And like, it seems very... I'm a broken record at this point, but it seems like it's way too important of an arc. You know, this final saga that One Piece is on, Oda has been very on point. Like, he is just going left and right, revealing a lot of information, setting up key clashes. I don't know how long One Piece has left. Couple years. I mean, I feel like we've all been saying that for a long time now, but at the rate things are going, it seems like Oda really is trying to end it within 5 years, I think. That's crazy to think about. Dang. And you know how we can tell that things are trying to wrap up, that Oda's trying to wrap things up, even though we're far away from the ending still, obviously, but Shanks is showing up now. Whereas before in the past, Shanks would show up every couple hundred chapters, 100 episodes, and he'd have like a few minutes of screen time. He'd say a line or two, then boom, we wouldn't see him again forever. You know what I'm saying? But now in the final saga, Shanks has had a bit more screen time than he ever has in the past, and now he seems like he's going to be a big player in Elbaf, which makes sense. It always seemed like Shanks was going to be an obstacle or a key player in Elbaf. And then maybe finally we will probably learn more about him and who he is, because he's been mysterious all this time. Dang, okay. So I really wonder how this is going to play out. But for right now, that's going to do it for my reading of One Piece. Pretty good chapter. Seems like we're getting a lot of setups for the future. Shanks versus Kid. Wonder how that's going to go. They both have red hair. We know that much. They both have a scar. Oh, one thing. Okay. One thing before I forget. I think I pointed this out before in other reactions, other readings. But One Piece has a very common pattern of the left eye having scars. Like, there has got to be some type of significance. It can't be a coincidence, right? In other anime, I probably would be like, oh, it's just a coincidence. But knowing Oda, at some point, there's got to be an explanation or some type of reveal why a character's left eye. You know what I'm trying to say, right? Shanks' left eye has a scar. Kid's left eye has a scar. Kid's left arm got taken. Shanks' left arm got taken. Zoro's left eye is shut. Has a scar over it. You know what I'm saying? So, what is it with One Piece and the left limb, left part of the body? You know what I'm trying to say? It's okay. Look, this I'm gonna quote another anime just because I was rewatching it. Has nothing to do with One Piece, but if you've seen Hajime no Ippo, right? At one point during one of Takamura's boxing matches, he beats his opponent with only a jab, like his left hand. He refuses to use his right arm. He beats his opponent with jabs and a straight. You know, he KOs him like that. And then I forget the guy's name, but Ippo's all like, "Hey, you know what? Why he do that? You know, why he did that, right?" And then the old man next to him, he goes on to say, Takamura was just following an old saying: "He who rules with his left rules the world." And then Takamura raises his left arm in victory. He raises his arm in victory. Look, like I said, I was just rewatching that, and now I'm noticing that there's One Piece always deals with the left side of the body, left eye, left arm, left leg, whatever the heck. Am I reaching for something that's not there? Because it is a common pattern I've seen, and I know, obviously, I can't be the only one that's noticed it. But anyway, look, let me just end my thoughts here. We'll talk about that another time. Oh, Luffy has a scar under his left eye as well. So, like I said, everything comes back down to a left eye, left arm, left side of the body type of scenario, type of thing going on. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be reading through One Piece chapter 1077. And the interesting thing about this chapter is that it's released on Shanks' birthday. Today is actually, the birthday of Shanks. And funny enough, if you remember the last chapter, we ended off with Kid and Shanks on their way to potentially clash with each other. Some type of confrontation about to go on. And it seems like ever since Egghead Island started, or I should say this new final saga started, it seems like Shanks was he's definitely being added more to the story. At first, I was all like, you know what, this is probably just as a promotion for Film Red, because it was, marketed as a film related around Shanks, right? But, he's starting to be more and more into the story, and now Shanks is with his crew at Elbaf, and he has the backing of all the giants. The giants love Shanks, the giants love his crew. And we saw a panel of Shanks and his crew with the giants behind him. Freaking, like, if you look at that scene, I'm like, dang, dude. How is Kid and his crew, Kid and Killer, how is his crew going to deal with Shanks and the freaking might of all the giants? You know what I'm saying? That's going to be interesting to see. So that's pretty much where we ended off last chapter. I really want to see if they're going to fight and what the aftermath is going to be. And with this new chapter being released on Shanks' birthday, am I thinking too much? Am I setting myself up for disappointment? Or is it possible that we are going to be getting some some more information, some more Shanks in this chapter? Is it possible? Because it's very convenient. I hope I'm not setting myself up for disappointment, but I guess we're going to have to find out and see when I read this chapter. But yeah, overall, I think that's pretty much all I got to say about this. So let me go ahead and start reading this new chapter. One Piece chapter 1077. You should have put it together sooner, with an exclamation mark at the end. Okay, so immediately this chapter title is already like, is it teasing us? Is it trolling us, the viewer, the reader? Because as you know, a lot of shady things are happening right now in Egghead Island, right? In this arc. There's potentially another traitor on the loose among us, right? So the chapter title is called, You Should Have Put It Together Sooner. And with everything that's going on right now, is this Oda's way of essentially preparing us for what's going to happen in this chapter or later on in this arc? It's essentially, hey, it's basically, to me, this chapter title is telling us, you think you know what you know, but you really know nothing at all. We are about to blow your minds. You know what I'm saying? So, and then it's kind of like teasing us, like, you should have put it together sooner. Like, everything was right in your face. But maybe I'm getting too carried away. But this is a very interesting chapter title. And then we got the cover story, which is Germa 66 Cold-Blooded Voyage, Volume 32. Wait a sec, it's all Vegapunk's fault. And it looks like Judge and Caesar, they beat each other up, and then they're just looking at each other like they had an epiphany. Like, oh, dang, dude, Vegapunk is the one responding. Like, it's all Vegapunk's fault. And then you see, who is that? Reiju and... Crap, I forgot this brother's name for Sanji. Sanji's siblings are out in the background, just kind of looking at them. Anyway, let's move on into the reading. So that was the cover story, chapter title. All right, cool. Let's move on into the reading. What is Sentomaru thinking? Fabra Stratum, Egghead. You guys have to get off this island. Huh? What are you talking about, Sentomaru? Tell us. What's going on here? Why did you deploy the Pacifista? There was once an island called Ohara. One day, out of nowhere, it was wiped off the map. All because the people there opposed the world government. A refresher on the Ohara incident. Okay, so we get a refresh course. The island of Ohara was host to the largest library in the world. Scholars gathered there to conduct research on the poneglyphs, despite the topic being taboo. The Navy was eventually sent in to eliminate everyone on the island, including the villagers. Nico Robin was the sole survivor of the massacre. Or so we thought, but now we know that Saul, Jaguar D. Saul, actually survived the Ohara incident as well. But the world doesn't know that. So as far as the world is concerned, the world government, Robin is the only one who survived, and everybody else perished. And we got this panel right here shows us Aokiji, Robin's mom Olvia, which we haven't seen ever since then, Clover, young Robin, and Saul. Alright, so that was the refresh course on Ohara. I wonder what they're going to think. I wonder what the government is going to think when they find out that Saul is alive and that freaking the giants recovered everything, what they could on the ancient text, and that they have it preserved in Elbaf. I wonder what the government is going to think. They're going to freaking flip. They're gonna freak out. All right, cool. So that was the refresh on Ohara. Let's move on in the reading. Okay. The fact that they're gathering. Okay, so we're back to Sun tomorrow. The fact that they're gathering, that they're targeting Grandpa Punk shows how serious they are about erasing him. They're willing to lose the world's greatest mind over this. That's why I think whatever's coming will be even more monumental. And this place will be ground zero. Huh? Hurry, Straw Hat. What's going on up there? You know, he has a point. He has a point, because right now they're not just targeting, you know, back in the day they targeted the library and they're like, okay, we're good. We killed them all. We're good. But now they want to kill Vegapunk, so Sentomaru has a point. Like, they want to kill their strongest, their smartest person, you know what I'm saying? Smartest person in the world. Alright, so let's move on. Next page. We are in the control room, 4th floor, building A. Alright, what's up with these guys? Kong, Oregon, Handgun, Yellow Lotus. Take that. Alright, so we got Luffy and Lucci still teaming up, fighting versus one of the pacifistas, the Seraphims. They're specifically attacking Kuma right now, his Seraphim. Alright, next page, we cut to Kaku. He's just observing. Tempest Kick, okay. Tempest Kick Onslaught. One sword style. Here comes Zoro. One sword style. Lethal Lion Song. Dang, I love this team. Great teammates right now. Alright, so Seraphim, Kuma, and Mihawk, they're kind of like hands on their chest, kind of checking themselves like, dang, we got hit. What the heck? Okay, so Luffy's all like, what the heck? They're getting up way too easily. Do they think they're Kaido or something? Cut it out already. Now that you mention it, they remind me of King. That guy I fought in Wano. Okay, so Zoro's going to start to give information, I think. A Lunarian on Kaido. Oh, dang, hold up. And that's yeah, hold up. So who's that talking? Is that one of the Vegapunk, Shocker, whatever the heck? Anyway, so Zoro's kind of starting to spill the secrets, and now let's see if Vegapunk catches on. So next line is a Lunarian on Kaido's crew. I never caught what his people were called. I see. That must have been Albur, the test subject who long ago escaped Punk Hazard with Kaido. The Seraphims owe their toughness to his Lunarian blood. No kidding. In that case, pay attention to the flames on their backs. Our attacks will only be effective when they go out. Really? He was practically invincible when he was on fire. My bad. If I'd clocked it sooner, I could have saved us some stamina. No matter. With this intel, we can finally make some progress. Hey, Helmet, where are you going? I think I may know where the Stella's gotten to. Okay, so... Alright, so he's leaving. I don't know, I'm looking at every single Vegapunk clone, or whatever the heck. I'm looking at them kind of like nobody's completely clean in my book. He's walking away. I'm like, yeah, are you up to something? Or like, how do you think you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you up to? So he's walking away. Alright, he's leaving the scene of the action, whatever the heck. Alright, so we keep going on. Some more action. Don't get in the way. We're in a bit of a rush. We cut to the 3rd floor, building A. Let's go, Zeus! Holy moly. Hey, what an angle. Who drew this? Oda? Okay. Interesting. Look at this panel right here. The fan service is absolutely real right now. Let's go, Zeus! Yeah, and look at, we got this panel of Nami. Freaking booty all up in your face, dude. They're gonna animate this, and they're gonna exaggerate this, like, so much in the anime. I guarantee you, 100%. Okay. So let's move on. Alright, so we got Nami charging towards Seraphim Jinbei. We can't... Wait, what's going on here? Yeah. We can't treat him like a kid. So she's going after Seraphim Jinbei. Alright. He's a heartless killing machine. One of our friends has already been ambushed, and he basically totaled Edison. He's definitely not a kid, and he's not cute either. That's right, Nami. Don't hesitate. Close your eyes if you have to. Just fling me and I'll handle the rest. Thunderbolt. Dang, this panel was sick, dude. I like this. Okay, so she's attacking, going all Pikachu on them. Thunderbolt. Dang, Seraphim Jinbei is injured. Smoke coming out of his mouth. Eyes white. And then Nami's kind of like, you can tell Nami's kind of shaken up. She's like, dang, I'm sorry, Jinbei. She kind of like trembling, looking down, clenching. Even the bubbles, the way that the thought bubbles are formed, the dialogue, the letters are kind of like wiggly or whatever the heck. So you could, it communicates that this is still hard for Nami to do. So she's saying, I'm sorry, Jinbei. Okay, next panel. Splash, okay. And then Brook is like, splash? He dove down again. Nami, run, he's coming from below. What? It didn't work? Okay, next panel. Dang, here comes Seraphim Jinbei. Reappeared right behind Nami. Looks like he's going after her, going for the attack. Okay. And then we cut to the next, well, we're still on the same page, but next panel, all right. If I ruled a country, my decrees would be simple. 1. Anyone who threatens Nami will face capital punishment. And then he just keeps on listing, okay. And number 9, anyone who makes a scream will receive, okay. The numbers used in the translator's note, I think numbers used might be a pun, as 9 and 1 can be combined to form kui, okay, which can imply fishing / thief. Okay, cool. Sorry, I was just reading the note here, that the translator left. Anyway. Okay, so, all right, more action here. Is that Sanji? Yeah, that's Sanji. I saw the little eyebrow there, twirl. Okay, Sanji, are you okay? Are you okay, Nami? I can take care of this. You won't get another warning, small fry. I don't give a damn if you're a kid or if you're another Jinbei. I'll be your judge, jury, and executioner, Jin Brat. I gotta say, I like this panel. Look at Sanji's face. Look how focused and like he has that smile going on, but you could tell it's like a freaking I'm about to kill you smile. You know what I'm saying? I like this panel right here. Very well drawn, conveys the message really well. I also like the choice of words. I'll be your judge. His dad's name is Judge. Your jury and executioner. So, pretty cool. Alright, next page. We cut to the 3rd floor, building C. How dare you petrify York? Bubble gun. Okay. And another shot, another booty shot in this panel. Nice, not bad, not bad. All right, so it's one of the I forgot what's this Vegapunk's name? I forgot. Anyway, look, she's fighting versus Seraphim Boa. Okay. Whoa, she just brushed it off like it was nothing. Okay, so Usopp is amazed, huh? Okay, she's down. Okay. Green blood gives you the pros and cons of having a fruit ability. And these bubbles were designed to harness the ocean's energy. They're your weak point. Yeah, you're freaking awesome, Lilith. There we go, Lilith. Okay. I'll catch her while she's down. Stay back. Okay, wait, what's going on? Is that Frankie? Yeah, it's Frankie. Okay, so he's going to stay back. Okay, wait, no. Okay, yeah, so the Seraphim's not defeated, so I think... Okay, anyway. I guess it's already worn off, yep. That's because it only grazed her. I wonder, these Seraphim are tough. Holy crap. Uh-oh, she's mad now. Yeah, you can see Boa Hancock, Seraphim, kind of like the pouty lips and the big cheeks kind of going like that. Okay, so... okay, Frankie's coming up behind her. Looks like he has a freaking stone or whatever the heck. About to whack her over the head with it. Take that, you rascal. Frankie, you genius. You used that bubble. Oh, it's a bubble. You used that bubble perfectly. Give up already, runt. This is agonizing. Dang, dude, the crocodile tears are getting to Frankie. Yep. Oh, crap, dude. Petrified. Frankie is stone now. Half stone. You could say he's still alive. This petrification power is no joke. Yeah, Frankie's turning to stone. He's gonna die. Bubble gun. Oh, she's winking at him. She got Lilith and Usopp petrified. Yeah, love, mellow, heart. You know, yeah, they're done for. They're stone. Heart in their eyes. Dang. I just had to get new water. I should probably keep a bigger water bottle here next to me, so I don't have to go in and out and whatever the heck. But anyway, I'm back, and I left off on this page. So we are in the underground Old Devil Fruit Research Lab. Okay. So you have Shaka, and then he's just kind of like walking down the stairs. He's all like, He's, kind of wondering, like, who's there? Are you the one behind all this? Come out and show yourself. It can't be. You're those Cypherpole agents. I thought you had come and gone ages ago. Why are you here? Save us. I don't want to die. Shaka. Stella? So this is where you were. Who could have done this? I'm so glad you're okay. Here, let me help. And then he's running towards Vegapunk, and then Vegapunk is kind of like, what's he say? Who's that you... Wait, he's like, hey, Shaka. Wait, no, he's like, say, Shaka. Who's that you brought with you? What? And there's a click of a gun, and that's going to be the end of this chapter. What the heck? That's... I wonder who that could be. So that's the end of this chapter, and... Oh, no, there's another page! I just clicked. Freaking Shaka just got wrecked. Bullet to the head. Hold up. Freaking bang, dude. He got... Oh, crap. He got shot. And Vegapunk is just like... What's going on here? Shaka! Yeah, he's been shot. What the heck? What's going on? Who was that? Yo. Snuffing out hope with a single shot. Is that the end of the chapter? Why? Okay, first of all, this is shocking to me, right? What the heck happened here? Okay, look, I'm trying to process this, right? Because first, why? Okay, look, why is One Piece doing this, right? Because it's like a little. So if you go back, this page right here, when Shaka is running towards Vegapunk, he's like, "Let me help." Vegapunk is all like, "Who's that you? Who's that you brought with you?" What? And there's a click. There's like a click of a gun, right? And then it says here at the bottom right, One Piece chapter 1077 end. And then if you click forward, then you get the shot of Shaka getting freaking bullet to the head. Shot, dude. It's almost like a post-credits teaser or whatever the heck. Like, what if someone misses this completely? Why are they doing that? Anyway, point is, he got wrecked, dude. He got freaking destroyed just now. Bullet to the head. And Vegapunk is shocked. Everybody is shocked. Vegapunk, the Cypherpole agents, he's like, Shaka, he's been shot. What's going on? Who was that? And then, dude, blood pouring out. Like, just pouring out of his head, dude. That's a straight up headshot. What? He's dead. He's got to be dead. And then it sounds like somebody's running up the stairs. So somebody was tailing Shaka and then freaking shot him. And then we get the caption, snuffing out hope with a single shot. And then that's actually the end of the chapter. What is going on? Who can be the traitor in this? Like, who infiltrated Egghead and is doing all this? All right, look. I don't know what to think anymore because at one point I've been suspecting every single Vegapunk. I've suspected Vegapunk himself. When Shaka excused himself and left the battlefield to come here, I was all like, this guy kind of looks suspicious right now. And now we have him getting shot in the head, blood pouring. It looks like he's dead. What the heck, dude? Unless he faked his death. Like, I really don't know what to think at this point. I don't know what to think. I am lost. I wonder, like, the title of this chapter is You Should Have Seen It Coming, or You Should Have Seen It Sooner, whatever the heck. I'm wondering if I missed some key details in this chapter or the previous chapters that I could have put together and then maybe gotten a better idea on what is going on and who the traitor could be. But we know that there's been a suspected traitor among us for the longest time, right? And it looks like they're finally taking action. So whoever this is, was following Shaka, and apparently they're very good at stealth because nobody realized. He himself, Shaka, didn't realize. He went to help Vegapunk to like get him out of his handcuffs, right? Vegapunk's looking kind of beat up as well, kind of blood pouring down his forehead and eyebrow, whatever the heck, right? So here he goes running towards him. I'm gonna help you, and then Vegapunk is all. If you look at his gaze, he's kind of looking to like his upper left. Vegapunk is all like, "Hey, who's that you brought with you? Who'd you bring with you?" Shaka has no idea. He's like, "Wait, what?" He probably turns around at the moment and then, bang, dude, just got freaking wrecked right now. And then everybody is legitimately shocked. The face that Vegapunk is making, to me, that does not seem like the face of someone who is working in cahoots with the bad guy. Unless he's a really good actor, unless we want to get thrown for a spin. I don't know. But I don't know what's going on here, dude. I don't know what's going on. I am trying to figure out what could be going on. I got no idea. Usually at this point, I kind of have a thought or like a concrete theory or like some type of guess that to me just seems right. Like, okay, this might be happening. This set of people could be traitors, or this guy is a bad guy, whatever the heck, right? So far in this arc, I haven't really been able to like pinpoint that, you know. Stuzy, not necessarily, right? When I suspected her, I turned out to be correct because I think she was making it a little too obvious. But this part of the story, it's almost like been kept in secret, like behind the scenes, until they're taking action. Whoever it is, he or she is taking action. Bang, down goes Shaka, bleeding to death on the ground. The perpetrator is running up the steps. You know, you can hear the sound effects. I don't know. I gotta say, I don't know. But this was a pretty good ending to the chapter. And looks like there's no break next week. So we gotta be on the lookout for that. I'm looking forward to see what the aftermath of this is. But I gotta say, I'm confused as to why this chapter did this. You know, chapter... On this page, it says end, but you gotta click one over to see what happened. I bet you there are some people that saw chapter end and just exited the page. They're like, okay, cool chapter, let's see what happens next week. And then they just get surprised that Shaka's dead, lying on the floor, bleeding to death. Like, what the heck? I think that happened with the chapter where Saint J. Garcia's name was revealed. I think that same thing applied because in that chapter, I remember reading... And then the ending to the chapter was when Miss Bakin was telling Marco, she was essentially telling him, you know what, Dr. Vegapunk can prove that Weevil is Newgate, Whitebeard's son. You know, she was saying that, right? But then you had to click one page further to even see that St. J. Garcia's name got revealed. So bet you some people miss that. Just like some people might miss this. Anyway. This is turning into like freaking unsolved mysteries right now. Someone's in the shadows trying to eliminate the competition. Huh. Very interesting. Anyway, look here. All right, look here. That's going to do it for my reading. One Piece chapter 1077. Looks like we got a murder mystery on our hands. And surprisingly, no Shanks. I guess I was setting myself up for disappointment on that. You know, the chapter released on Shanks' birthday. I was like, hey, you know, maybe there'll be some Shanks content or whatever the heck in this chapter because it's his birthday, but it didn't happen. Oh well. We'll probably get more eventually, but this was quite a shock, this ender. Yeah. Anyway, like I said, for now, that's going to do it for my rating of One Piece chapter 1077. Things are getting spicy. So, let me know what y'all thought about this chapter. And other than that, I hope y'all have a good night. Stay safe out there. Take care. And I'll see you in the next video.